electric chainsaw sharpener. It works at 220 volts AC. It has an 85 watt motor. It has a cutting wheel. There is the chain attached, and this portion can be rotated. This upper portion is moving up and down. Let's open this box. The tool itself is plastic. It's not metal, but it's pretty solid. That's the base. This was in this box, and it has a manual. Electric chainsaw chain sharpener. 230 volts, 85 watts, 4800 RPM. Electric chainsaw sharpener ES002. Here it has an on-off switch. This is a limiter for pressing it down. Here is the cutting wheel. It's jumping in increments. That's the thickness of the disc itself, 3 millimeters. That's the handle. That's the base. It has 2 openings here for screws, and that's for the rotating mount. It has a spring here. It is totally plastic, but it seems to be a strong plastic. There is no play in it, at least not for now. This portion is moving up and down. It is at an angle, so it's not on horizontal, but slightly to the right, because it has to get into the teeth of the chain. That's the base. This portion is moving up and down. This is the limiter, so the chain will not go backwards. You have to insert the chain here. This can be pulled out and then rotated to tighten these 2 metals. So you have to pull it out first and then rotate it. This is also plastic. It's spring loaded. There is a little bit of play in it. This is also plastic. That limiter. This can be removed. This will fall off. That remains inside. It's top heavy. There's an arrow to the left 35 degrees and to the right also 35, but this is rotating. This is included, but those screws are not included. This is not stopped at that 35 degree. You can rotate it all the way. This is stopping it from rotating. And it's top heavy. So you must fix it with something, because the motor is on the right side and everything is tilted to the right. So that's the tool itself. Eye protection, rotation direction, so it's moving down, so rotating to the left. I attached this piece of wood to it. The larger portion is on the right side, but it's still not okay. It's on the right side because the entire machine is bent to the right, but when you pull it down, it moves to the left. So this is not a good idea. Plus I had to use a tool at 90 degrees because I could not access that screw. Better, not too good. It's folding this way. It's not folding easily in that direction. There is this lower portion and this top one. There's this cutout for the lower knob, which can be rotated. It can tip to the right a little bit, but when you are using it, you are pulling it to the left. Here's the first try. It's plugged in. Where is the power switch? It's far away and it sounds like this. It's pretty silent. Vibrations are induced into the metal. Now let's attach the chain for the first time. Those triangular looking shapes go down. They have to enter between those 2 metals. Something like this. Down there, that knob is in the way. If I move this down, it's getting into the teeth. Okay, so that goes there. slide it to the right, and it should be stopped by something, but it's not stopped by anything. That is because the chain should be reversed. So that should go behind that square part, not this rounded part. Okay, so that's one thing to take in consideration. Now, as you can see, it's not going to the left. It is being stopped by this one. Another problem is that if I pull the chain to the left, notice this one is bending. It's plastic. So don't pull it too much because it is not too solid. Another thing, if I move this there, then this teeth is in this direction. The other one is in that direction. So if I pull this down, it's not in the correct angle. So I must use another teeth. Let's go to the next one. That. And for that is somewhat okay. Another thing, as you can see, you have to pull it to the left and it's still hitting the teeth. It is hitting the teeth. So pull this one back a little bit. The chain went to the left and now it can enter. Of course, now it does not enter, it hits the tip, and because of the plastic is soft, I can pull it with my hand and it somewhat enters. The next thing is this. This is limited so that it will not go too deep. Okay, let's loosen it. As you can see, it is not hitting the bottom, it's not hitting that lower portion, but if I loosen it from here to the left, then it enters deeper. So it will remove from the bottom also. So don't do that. Limit it from here so that the entire head will not go down too much. Now the next thing after this entered there is the angle of that teeth. I'm loosening it. It is rotated this way or it is rotated that way. I set it to 30 degrees and I think is not enough. Maybe I should use 35. Notice that line and this end. So this end where my nail is should be parallel with that one. So modify the angle from something like this to something like this. From here to there. And that is done by this. I will try 30 degrees first and then maybe even more until I see that it is parallel with that line. It would enter into this one, so I have to push it that way. Pull it with this finger a little bit to the left. It is doing something, it's not going down to the bottom, that's good. Now the angle looks okay, so this line starts to get parallel with that one. It's somewhat better, so maybe 30 is okay. This tip has to be sharp, so I need to remove more because as I see it did not reach there. Now let's move to the next one, and that is in the opposite angle. It's not this way but that way, so I will skip that one and to this one. The tip is not yet sharp. I have to remove a little bit more material. That is, push it to the right. This thing is moving and it can go past the teeth. After one side is finished, then move it to the other 30 degrees there and see if it's okay. On this side the burr will be on the outside. If I rotate it, the burr will be on the inside. Tighten it a little bit so it will not move that much. That teeth is longer compared to that one, so I removed more at this angle compared to that angle. First I did the chain this way at this 30 degrees and it was in contact with that portion of the chain. Then I rotated it from this angle to that angle and it's not in contact with the left portion of the chain but with the right portion. So in this direction it takes off more material and in that direction less material. So I have to push the chain a little bit forward when it's tilted to this left side 30 degrees. So it's pulled all the way to the left and when I pull this down it is touching a little bit the right side of that chain and there is gap on the left side. So I have to push it forward and then it should be, yes, now it's in contact there with that portion of the chain. So take in consideration this fact that here it cuts more and there it cuts less, so it has to be adjusted. Now I rotated it from this position into that position. Pull the chain to the left and take a look at how much would cut off from that teeth. It enters into the top of that teeth. It would cut into it quite a lot, 1 or 2 millimeters. Take care not to touch the disc, because you can touch it.